Well, boys and girls, we got an amazing show for you today. There's really too much to talk about. Let's just get straight into the news. My name is Tom Nash, and I quit my corporate job as a senior financial analyst to break down companies for you. But there's one thing you need to know about me. I don't take bullshit from anybody. We're going to be talking about the new Biden plan as far as green energy, sustainable energy, all that good stuff, and what it means for the EV sector. Microsoft deal with Discord is falling apart. I'm going to be talking about what it means for Microsoft and Discord. We have some news from Credit Suisse, believe it or not. Credit Suisse have managed to put out a PR notice that makes Nikola actually look good. Really horrible stuff. And Apple is actually moving into new stuff, which I've been talking about for months. Services through the hardware it already has in the market. Remember when I told you that months ago that Apple is phasing out the hardware and going into services? Well, another sign, another dollar, actually another sign, another AirTag. I'm going to talk about that in a second. There's a lot to talk about. The Microsoft Discord deal is falling through. Has the sky fallen? I don't think so. I think it would have been a great deal for Microsoft to have Discord. I actually think that the Nuance deal Microsoft is working on is much more important for their ecosystem rather than Discord. I think Discord has a phenomenal platform. We use it in our community. By the way, if you want to join our private Discord, it's available for channel members and patrons. You can sign up in the description below or in the pinned comment. It's $5 a month and you'll be supporting the channel. So I definitely like Discord. I think they have a phenomenal product and I think they can do without Microsoft. Essentially, I also think that Microsoft can do without Discord because of their gaming presence is pretty strong with the Xbox and their ecosystem in PC gaming. So I think the reason this deal isn't going through is I don't think they're into each other that much because they can really do well separately. Unlike Nuance, which pretty much struggles on its own and needs Microsoft, and unlike Microsoft, who really needs Nuance in their ecosystem, that deal makes much more sense to Microsoft than Discord. Would this mean that Microsoft will suffer? I don't think so. I think that Microsoft are probably going to be looking for another platform, either in-house or probably they'll purchase something else. Who knows? With them saving $10 billion on this deal, they have enough cash to develop something in-house. I honestly don't think it's a huge deal for Microsoft, and I don't think it's a huge deal for Discord. If anything, I think Discord going public on their own are probably going to get much more than $10 billion in valuation, but that's a whole different discussion. We're not going to get into it here. Not a huge deal. Would have been nice to have for Microsoft, but not a lot of issues here for me. I think Microsoft is on trajectory to go even crazier this year. One of my favorite stocks. And now let's talk about Credit Suisse and the huge debacle that they've created with Archegos Capital. Essentially, they fired every single person that had anything to do with it except the CEO. And now the CEO, after they fired all the officers, is pretty much saying, well, we don't have a cultural problem. We just lost $5 billion. We just generated a loss in Q1 based on just Archegos Capital overshadowing everything else we did, and we don't have any structural problems. Credit Suisse reports loss after Archegos Capital scandal. CEO insists there is no risk culture problem. Now, when they asked this dude, wait, shouldn't you also be fired like everybody else who got fired under you? And he's like, well, this is not a good time to fire people. That's a good time to fix things. Well, motherfucker, the employees you just fired probably thought the same thing. And here's the thing. Credit Suisse just laid a $5 billion egg to their investors. And now they're sitting here claiming, well, we don't have a cultural problem. This is pretty much like my conversation with my grandpa when he claims he's not addicted to vodka. I don't believe my grandpa, I don't believe Credit Suisse. They belong in the same category. And to have their CEO sit here and say, well, this is not the time to fire people when he just acts like all the C-level executives that had anything to do with this, I just think it's just lack of responsibility, lack of accountability, lack of self-awareness. I think Credit Suisse deserves an F in this whole story. I'm definitely staying away from anything these guys ever touch. Oh my God. So for the next story of the day, Biden and his administration actually pledged to reduce greenhouse gases by half, Eddie, by 2030. What the hell is a 2030? It's like in a gazillion years, 2030. Oh my God, will there still be life on Earth in 2030? And of course, in all seriousness, I'm talking about 2030, not 2030. Don't crucify me in the comment section. Is this realistic? Slashing greenhouse gases by half in 9 years? I don't think so. Maybe. Who knows? In any case, I think it's a good idea to put that target on the wall because I think it's going to do a lot of good for the industry. I think BMW is making similar claims over the past few days. I think a lot of companies are aiming at 2030. However, I do think it's a massive, major catalyst for every single company that has anything to do with electric vehicles. Tesla, but there's a lot of other companies who will definitely benefit from this quite significantly. Putting this target on your back and enforcing this as far as every regulatory authority and the budgets and the resources is definitely going to benefit every single EV company. Good news for Tesla, good news for other EV companies. Outside of the companies, of course, that do hydrogen and trucks and roll them down the hill. I don't want to say which, but certain companies, who knows? Of course, there's going to be a lot of FOMO. There's going to be a lot of fakery, a lot of copycatting. A lot of companies are going to try to ride this wave. But in the long term, over the next 3 to 4 to 5 years, we're going to weed out the nonsense from the real companies. I think by the end of the day, it's going to be Tesla, BYD, maybe 1 or 2 more Chinese companies, maybe Volkswagen, maybe certainly BMW is in the game, but there's not going to be as much. A lot of legacy manufacturers are going to be left behind, but I think there's going to be a lot of consolidation in the legacy manufacturers to handle this competition, and there's going to be a lot less brands competing for that hardcore EV market. It's probably going to be those that I mentioned, but who knows? Let's see what happens by 2030. And of course, we have this article from CNBC. Apple's AirTag relies on a feature no competitor can match: 1 billion iPhones. Essentially, Apple is releasing a tag, a $30 product, which you can put on your bag or in your pocket, will let you know exactly what that person is. It's great for kids, it's great for dogs, whatever it is you want to use that for, tracking stuff. It's really, really important. At $30, it's really a phenomenal product. Moreover, it has no battery, no GPS, no nothing, because it just connects via Bluetooth to your freaking iPhone. I think that no other competitor will be able to come close to Apple as far as the existing infrastructure, their existing network effects. And I think this is just the beginning of what I've been preaching for months. Go back in my videos. Apple will eventually give out iPhones for literally free just to steal their services. This is just the beginning of the Apple transformation. We're about to see a massive Apple wave in the next few years, and I find it amusing that people can't see it. But again, just my opinion. See you in 2030.